I just bought myself a new car, leaving me with an extra car, which I was going to sell back to my dealership. It's a Toyota Corolla 2018, which is in good condition. My sister asked if I would sell it to my niece. She's going to college in a few months, and she'll need a car. My niece, I'll call her Luna, has always been socially shy. I haven't seen her much. I just moved back to my home state. I told them I could bring it by to look at it. I got to their home, and my sister and Luna were waiting. I started to show them the car and gave them the basic information. I asked who would be buying it, and my sister answered. She told me that Luna was buying it, and it would be in her name. So I started speaking to her, or at least trying to. Her mom would answer every question I asked her. For example, I asked her how much she saved up. Her mom answered. How soon she'd need the car. Her mom answered. I've heard about 5 words the whole time I've been here, and it was when she was talking to her mom. I asked if she was interested in the car, and her mom answers. I told my sister I asked Luna, and waited for Luna to respond. I repeat the question, but she doesn't give an answer and just looks at her mom. I informed them I wasn't willing to sell my car if the person buying it could not communicate with me. So I ask again what she thinks of the car, and she turns around and walks inside. I informed my sister I would not be selling Luna the car. We argue that I shouldn't have put her on the spot. I know she's shy. I point out that if her daughter can't communicate, she'll be eaten alive at college. I tell her I would sell it to Luna if she contacted me. My sister called me a jerk. Am I the idiot for refusing to sell my car to my socially shy niece? Am I reading correctly that you're refusing to sell the car to Luna as punishment for not being more outspoken in front of her overbearing mother? You are the idiot. I really don't get why you were so triggered by your sister's dynamic with Luna. Did you feel you need to teach your niece a lesson? It's not unheard of for parents to buy a car for their children, and it doesn't seem that either was disrespectful to you. So it's hard for me to understand what you were trying to achieve with such an adversarial interaction. I guess Luna's uncle treats her as if something is wrong with her, so she doesn't feel safe speaking around him. He's punishing the girl for her shyness. It's just that basic. You're not obligated to sell your car to her, just like she's not obligated to speak to you. But it's bizarre to act like you're teaching her some valuable life lesson by holding the car over her. Just move on and sell it to someone else. You are the idiot for that part. It sounds like the uncle is the only one who doesn't treat her as if something is wrong with her. I fear that the daughter is so used to her mom speaking for her that she doesn't speak anymore and will never. It's a good thing OP is showing mom that speaking over her daughter is only going to cause her issues in life. This girl will not survive in the world if she can't answer a few questions from her family members. Yeah, this is 3-year-old behavior, not a near adult. The comments are kind of crazy, like turning around and walking away without saying a word. When someone asks you a direct question, it's crazy, disrespectful, and rude. It'll be Luna's car in her name. She must be able to communicate and sign official papers. If she goes to college, she must handle her own affairs. Not the idiot, but I would never sell a car to a family member. You'll feel obligated to pay for any needed repairs after they buy it from you. Update. I received a call from her dad, my brother-in-law. I don't know what's going on in that family, but he made it very clear not to sell the car to them. I wasn't going to anyways. In short, Luna can't afford it, and they're in debt. I don't know the specifics of what's happening, so I'll stay out of that. I'll be selling my car to the dealership. So Mommy Dearest decides to create a debt in her daughter's name so she can use and sell the car she wants, even if it's a sob story to make OP give it for $0. It's abuse. If the daughter gets any loan to pay OP in her name to get the car, it's financial abuse. My boyfriend, 39 male, and I, 36 female, have been planning a trip for months. It was his idea. We would fly out on a Friday, spend a weekend in a new city, and fly home Monday. The trip was planned for 2 weeks from now. I put in my time off at work, arranged care for my pets, and have been getting excited. Life has been pretty rough for a while, and I was just looking forward to new surroundings and spending time together. 2 weeks ago, his sister told him that their family had planned a week-long getaway in 2 weeks. I think they leave tomorrow. Evidently, this had been planned for a good while, but both his sister and mother each thought the other had informed him, while neither actually did. They do things like this fairly often, expect him to drop everything with little notice. I feel they treat him as an afterthought, and they sometimes only invite him to take advantage of his travel discounts. Yesterday, I brought up our trip, and he said he didn't think he'd be able to go. I was surprised and asked what the issue was. He said he won't have the PTO at work for Friday and Monday, and that he can't financially afford it. He had to use up his PTO on this family vacation, and as I type this, he's headed to where his parents and brother live so he can pay to rent the vehicle they need to get to their vacation destination, an 8-hour drive which none of them wanted to use their own vehicle for. He'll be driving his own vehicle and paying about $1,200 for their rental. Our finances are separate, and unless he asks for my opinion, I never comment on how he spends money. When I found out he was canceling our long-planned vacation because he was spending the entire trip's budget on a rental car for his family's relatively spur-of-the-moment getaway, I was angry. He accused me of not being very understanding and said he hoped if it were me in his shoes that I would do the same thing for my family. I told him I wouldn't, that I wouldn't cancel plans I had made with him months in advance because someone else wanted me to be available, and that I wouldn't be in that position because as grown adults, my family wouldn't plan a vacation with the assumption that I would pay to get them there. Now we're angry with each other. I'm upset that he canceled our trip on me for this, and he's mad that I'm upset about it. It may be an enormous overreaction, but I'm even having second thoughts about our entire relationship. I feel pretty unimportant and quite low on his list of priorities. We've been together more than 4 years. It's not like I'm just some girl he started spending time with, although that's how I'm left feeling. Losing my vacation is more than a little disappointing, but this also feels like another in the long list of ways he's shown me that I'm just not that important to him. So, am I the idiot? Should I have been more understanding and not upset that he canceled our vacation 2 weeks in advance because of his family's impromptu trip? Hop online or talk to a travel agent. Do they still have those? Right now. OP, you have time off and you aren't spending money on this trip with your boyfriend anymore. Go somewhere. Go somewhere you want to go. Somewhere nice. By yourself or with a companion, if one's available on such short notice. But a companion's not required. Bonus points if it's somewhere you've always wanted to go, but boyfriend didn't. Even more bonus points if it's someplace he always wanted to go. Do not sit home while your boyfriend is off with his family. You were ready to go on a long-awaited trip, so do it. You weren't even asked if you wanted to go, and it sounds dreadful, this long ride. Why can't these people hop on a plane anyway? Oh, wait, I don't even care. While you're on your fabulous trip, you can take time to think about your relationship and where you stand in your boyfriend's priorities. I like this idea. If he doesn't want to go on the vacation with you, that's his loss. You go, OP, and have the time of your life. But remember, he is showing you where you are in his list of priorities. He'd rather suck up to his family that treats him poorly than build his relationship with you. While he's away and you go on your own trip, think about how you want to spend your life and the type of person, if any, you want to spend it with, and then act accordingly. This is one of those situations where it's about far more than just a canceled trip. My girlfriend and I are 30, have been together for around 2 years, and have lived together for 1. She moved into my house and helped me renovate and buy new furniture to make it more of a home for her. We agreed to start a joint account and agreed to a 40-60 split of finances, her being the 40. Our expenses add up to around $3,000 per month, so she contributes $1,200 to the account each month. Anyways, she's out of the country for 2 months. She does this every 1 to 2 years to visit her parents. She basically quits her job to do this, but prepares for this with savings. While on the phone the other day, she told me she's running out of money and can't pay for the joint account this month. We are well aware of each other's finances, and although I believe she's using a lot more money than she thought while she's out there for legitimate reasons, I know there's more in savings, which she admitted she doesn't want to tap into. I got mildly upset about this because of a combination of things. 1, it was poor planning and money management. She boasts about being able to quit her job and take these long trips without completely factoring in all responsibilities. 2, she offered no compromise, such as paying a little more the next few months to make up for it, or simply adding the money later. And 3, perhaps most importantly, this was a significant problem in my last long relationship. My ex would frequently mismanage her responsibilities and finances. I'd often be left footing the bill. I made this a major boundary of mine going into a future relationship. I mostly bit my tongue that night, but the following morning, I couldn't stop thinking about it and texted her my thoughts. For the most part, my perspective was that this was a shared agreement and bills just don't go away because one's on vacation and chose to quit their job. Although I don't need the money and she knows this, it's more about the principle in sticking to agreements, something I value to an extreme degree after my last relationship. I just wanted to let her know how I felt about this, given my prior experience. She ended up turning this on me. On the phone, she was upset about feeling used and that I was just profiting off her while she was running out of money over there. She said she shouldn't have to pay while she's not home. I again explained the idea of bills not vanishing while on vacation. Still, I also had no idea she had financial problems. I told her I understood her situation and eventually told her that she could keep the money. But it was not about the money for me, but more about honoring commitments. These are our expenses and don't just go away. I asked her who would pay the bills if we both quit our jobs and were on vacation at the same time, as well as the idea of me taking a solo vacation and leaving her with 100% of the bills, simply because I wasn't home. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. She said she shouldn't have to pay while she's not home. That'd go over with the landlord or bank holding the mortgage. Where would she return to if you weren't there covering the bills? Is she having some genuine and unexpected emergency? I mean, that's what savings is for, but I was just wondering. Her parents essentially left her a house here in the States, so she's comparing any financial arrangement I present her with against free. But that's what I had to try to figure out. What sort of emergency led to this? In short, it wasn't an emergency, but enough for me to want to let it slide just for this event to pass. My house is mine, but her house is much older and requires far more work. When we agreed on this arrangement, my house was far closer to my job at the time. It's about in the middle now, but my house is far closer to most amenities, like malls, restaurants, activities, the gym, etc. On top of that, her brother's currently occupying the space. So she's got a free house and savings, and she still has the gall to ask you for money to pay the bills? Yeah, bro. She needs to go and live in that free house. And if she doesn't want you to move in with her, she's not as invested as you are. The question, though, why isn't it 50-50? Why is she quitting her job in her 30s to go on vacation? Why are you enabling bad behaviors? Dude, you're bankrolling this nonsense. May and June are busy months for my family. My wife's birthday, all 3 of our adult children's birthdays, our anniversary, Mother's Day, and Father's Day. My wife is employed and so are all of our kids. For the last 2 years, I've received nothing from any of them for our anniversary or my birthday. I'm a big boy and earn enough to buy whatever I want, so it's not a big deal. But I noticed that they all buy gifts for each other. I just seem to be left out. So this year, instead of getting them gifts, I got myself the Lego Millennium Falcon. It's something I've always wanted, but my parents couldn't afford it when I was a kid. I also bought a display table for my den. My wife approached me after I bought it home to say it was weird that I spent $1,000 on myself and didn't get anyone else a present. I asked her what she or the kids got me last year for our anniversary, my birthday, or Father's Day. She couldn't remember, so I asked her what they got me this year. She thought about it and realized I got nothing. I wasn't really upset or anything. I just figured I would buy myself something. What's the difference between me spending $1,000 on gifts for them and them spending $1,000 on me and cutting out the middleman and just spending the money on myself? She said I was being childish and that I should have told them if I had a problem. I said that Star Wars isn't childish and that we were all adults and didn't owe each other gifts. Now the kids are upset because I've decided to opt out of gift giving. I really don't understand the issue. Was I supposed to just keep giving forever? My parents stopped giving me gifts when I moved out. I've kept it up for over 10 years, and my wife buys herself whatever she wants with her salary, so it's not like I can get her anything she couldn't get herself. Not the idiot. Your wife and kids are mad because they realize you're right and that they look bad. They're gaslighting you to make you to blame for it when their actions which led to it. You aren't mad. There's nothing for them to be upset about. They can't expect gifts and then fail to return the favor year after year. I would give your kids a pass for the anniversary stuff, but birthdays and Father's Days are entirely different. And honestly, that's on you and your wife. It was mostly her job to instill in them the importance of honoring their dad, and they followed her lead of not considering you. You primarily have a wife problem. The kids are grown and flown. If I were in your shoes, I would send heartfelt cards to everyone going forward, and that's it. Sorry, but OP's birthday and Father's Day is not on his wife to remind them. When they were minors, yes, but they're all adults. It's absolutely on kids to do this. What's on his wife is that she didn't gift anything on those days herself, but not to chase adult kids to give small attention or a gift. My siblings and I are all over 40 years old, but we still remember and give our parents attention and gifts on their respective birthdays. I've been dating Emily for a year, and she's amazing. Unfortunately, my mom doesn't really approve. We're college students, and Emily didn't have housing for the summer and didn't want to spend her entire summer in her home state, a Midwest state with little to do. I convinced my mom to let her stay with us. One issue we have is that my mom and sisters go out a lot, and Emily wants to join them as they're always doing fun things. Emily loves fashion and makeup, which is part of the reason my mom doesn't like her. It takes her a minimum of an hour to get ready, and for a nicer place, it can take a couple of hours. She loves doing her hair and makeup and being all dolled up. My mom has made a rule that she'll only wait for people for 15 minutes for a casual outing and 40 for someplace fancy. The issue is that a lot of these outings are announced at the last minute, and Emily feels she can't be ready in 15 minutes. She feels my mom is trying to make her feel unwelcome, but honestly, I feel it's a fair rule as my mom isn't obligated to take us anywhere, and she hates waiting around. Am I the idiot for thinking my mom's rule towards my vain girlfriend is fair? Not the idiot. Not every outing is an Instagram-worthy occasion. Your girlfriend needs to adapt to her host, not the other way around. Your girlfriend needs to learn how to toss on some foundation, eyeliner, and lipstick and be good to go. Or, gasp, go without makeup. There's no need to wear a mask full time, which is what makeup is. You need to think long term. If it takes Emily that long to get ready to go out, a good chunk of your life will be spent waiting for her to get ready, which is a deal killer for me. My sister was always notorious for keeping people waiting. I solved it where I was concerned by leaving her butt behind when it was time to leave, if I was the one driving. A couple of times she missed out on things she really wanted to do, and she got the message that the world did not revolve around her.